Hi, this is Lama Kathy Wesley for the Columbus Karma Take Some Choling, and I am coming to you by recording today for the Midday Meditation in downtown Columbus. You will see that I am not Eric Weinberg, but Eric is going to be off today. And so I'm actually recording tomorrow's, which is today now, the Wednesday midday meditation in advance, so that folks who attend our program tomorrow will have a few short talks and some meditation. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to Midday Meditation, and thank you for tuning in to our Zoom. And I am going to give a short introduction to meditation with a short meditation instruction. Then we're going to meditate for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'll give a short talk on readings from the Buddha's sayings, the Dhammapada. So as we gather today on this special day, I would like to cause all of us to think just for a moment about new beginnings and about being able to bring ourselves from the past into the present and in the future with a sense of stability and peace and goodness. And so I'm going to say the 4 immeasurable meditations. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they have that great happiness, which is freedom from suffering. May they dwell in great equanimity, free of attachment and aversion to those near and far. And now I'll review the meditation instruction for you. We get together every Wednesday at 12:15 p.m. on Zoom in order to meditate together. And meditation has been very valuable to me in my life, and I hope it's been helpful to you. It is said that our mind is the seat of all of our happiness and the seat of all of our unhappiness, and that if we learn how to work with the mind, we will learn how to work with happiness and to increase causes of happiness and decrease the causes of suffering. And how do we do that? We do that by becoming familiar with our mind. And so we become familiar with, because that's the word for meditation in Tibetan is gom, G-O-M, and it means to become familiar. And we become familiar with our mind by allowing it to come to rest on a single object. In this case, it's the breath. And by coming to rest on that single object, we develop and cultivate a sense of being able to stay, being able to rest with ourselves and our mind as it is. And so that's the technique. The technique is that we place our attention on the breath as it comes in. We place our attention on the breath as it goes out. And in this way, we cultivate our attention. So I'll give a short instruction now. The practice of meditation begins with our inner intention. And the highest and best inner intention is that by sitting, we aspire that we will be of help to ourselves and of help to other people too. So forming that as our inner motivation is the first step of meditation. The second is to arrange the body in a position of meditation posture. And the posture is built from the ground up. So I'm sitting on the floor, but you can also do this sitting in a chair. You can begin with, if you're sitting in a chair, with your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. If you're sitting on the floor, you can cross your legs in any one of the meditation postures you've learned. The idea is to have a cushion under your bottom, and then to allow your shoulders to be straight, and your back to have its nice curves in it. And you can have your shoulders straight without that hunch by imagining that your breastbone moves up. So that's the legs and the seat. The back has its nice curves in it. The shoulders, hands, and arms. The shoulders are straight. The hands can be placed palm downward on the legs. And if you like, you can touch your thumb to the base of the ring finger and close your hand in a light fist and place them palm downward on the legs. This provides a bit of triangular support to your body. The chin can be tucked in slightly, and the eyes cast downward a few feet ahead. You're gazing and not looking. You also could lightly close your eyes, especially if you're okay with possibly falling asleep. And then the last of the postures is to touch the tip of the tongue to the upper palate behind the front teeth. This relaxes the muscles of the face. So we'll review. Crossed legs or legs sitting in a chair, feet flat, hip width apart, hands palm downward on the legs. You can use this posture called the lion's pause, if that's helpful to you. Shoulders straight, back with its curves. Shoulders, hands, and arms. The chin tucked in slightly, the gaze downward, and the tip of the tongue touched. This is the basic posture. Next, you can begin by taking one deep breath, breathing deeply, and then breathing out, and then allowing the breath to come and go naturally, allowing your attention to be with the breath as it comes in and to be with the breath as it goes out. You can think of the breath coming in, following it with your attention, and think of the breath going out, following it with your attention. Alternately, you could be aware of the feeling and sensation of the breath as it touches the nostrils of your nose. So we're going to have a short 2-minute meditation here at the beginning. Then I'll give one more little explanation, and then we'll do a 5-minute sit. So that's a little introduction to the practice of sitting. Next, I'm going to explain just a little bit about what to do when thoughts arise while you're meditating. Because sometimes when we're sitting, we are able to be attentive to the breath at first, but then after a few minutes, we lose attentiveness to the breath. And then we wander into either the past, where we're thinking about something that may have happened yesterday, or we wander into the future, where something might be happening tomorrow. And we're no longer in the present moment. And when this happens, we sometimes go down a little bit of a rabbit hole of thought. And this is where we become inattentive and begin to feel a little frustration with our meditation practice. So the method and technique for this is called touch and let go. As we're observing the breath, If a thought arises while we're meditating, then we touch that thought lightly with our attention, and we can even label it thinking, and then we can let it go, and then return our attention to the breath for a fresh start. So, what you'll notice when you first start meditating is that at first you will have a very short period of attention that will be quite good as you're attentive to the breath. And then over time, the your attention will wander a bit and weaken a bit, and then you'll wander into the past or the future. And so the purpose of the touch and let go technique is to touch the thought lightly with your attention. You can even label it thinking, drop it, let it go, return to the breath for a fresh start. So that's a little bit about the technique called touch and let go. So I think we're ready for our first set of the afternoon. And so we'll start by, again, refreshing our wish to do meditation for the benefit of others, and then allowing our body to come and sit in the posture of meditation, the legs, the seat, the back, the shoulders, hands, and arms, the chin, the gaze, and the tip of the tongue. And so thinking like this, we'll take one deep breath, breathe out, and then allow the breath to come and go naturally. So now we will have a short sit. In fact, I am going to set my little timer, and by setting the timer, we'll sit for about 10 minutes. Hey, thank you. What I enjoy most about these sessions of meditation, and especially meditating with Dharma friends, is that we seem to help each other when we're meditating, and the intentionality of a person who's meditating in a group of people, even if it's just one person that you're meditating with. There's this intentionality, this mutuality that where we seem to be together, even though we're alone with our own minds and working with our own minds. And so I hope this was helpful to you to sit just for a while. I wanted to say a couple of things about new beginnings. This particular day, the 20th of January, that this is going to be broadcast on, is a day of the inauguration of a new president in the United States. And I thought I would make a comparison with what happens when we're sitting in meditation, and the change from one governing person to another governing person is kind of like what's going on in our own minds as we watch our breath in meditation, and a thought comes up and it distracts our attention for a moment, and we're sort of reborn for just a moment in the world of that thought. And then when we are able to notice that we've been distracted and we label the distraction thinking, we let it go, and then return to watching the breath again, we're sort of reestablishing the what's next, and having a new beginning of our session of meditation. So I guess even when you have a 10-minute meditation like we just did, it's broken up into small little discrete mini sessions of meditation. And so sometimes the new beginning is one thought away. We might think, oh, the new beginning is coming. The new beginning is in the future. The new beginning will happen tomorrow, or the new beginning will happen then. But interestingly enough, when we're sitting on our cushion and meditating, the new beginning is actually the next moment. And if we are able to be present with that next moment, it will be, I guess you could call it a beautiful next moment. A potentially peaceful and potentially beneficial next moment. So anyway, just wanted to share that. It's interesting. I decided to allow the book to open. My copy, I have an old coffee table copy of the Dhammapada, the Sayings of the Buddha, my favorite translation by Thomas Byram. And it fell open to this chapter 19, about the just. And so I'm just going to read from it and make a few comments and see if that's helpful to you today. The just. If you determine your course with force or speed, you miss the way of the law. Quietly consider what is right and what is wrong, receiving all opinions equally, without haste, wisely. Observe the law. Who is wise? The eloquent one or the quiet man? Be quiet and loving and fearless. For the mind talks, but the body knows. Gray hairs do not make a master. A person may grow old in vain. The true master lives in truth, in goodness and restraint, nonviolence, moderation, and purity. Fine words or fine features cannot make a master out of a jealous and greedy person. Only when envy and selfishness are rooted out of them may they grow in beauty. A person may shave their head and act like a practitioner, But if they still lie and neglect their work, if they cling to desire and attachment, how can such a person follow the way? The true seeker subdues all waywardness. They have submitted their nature to quietness. They are true seekers, not because they beg, but because they follow the lawful way, holding back nothing, holding to nothing, beyond good and beyond evil, beyond the body and beyond the mind. Silence cannot make a master out of a fool, but they who weigh only purity in their scales, who see the nature of the two worlds, they are a master. They harm no living thing. And yet, it is not good conduct that helps us along the way, nor ritual, nor book learning, nor withdrawal into the self, nor deep meditation. None of these confers mastery or joy. O seeker, rely on nothing until you want nothing. I'm not sure I can say more. Fantastic. Yeah. Basically, the Buddha is saying, if we determine our course with force or speed, we miss the way of the law, meaning the way of peace, stability, and goodness. Quietly consider what is right and what is wrong, receiving all opinions equally without haste, wisely observe the law. And so the law for the Buddha was that our mind is the creator of our experience. And if we wish to be happy, we have to be of benefit to others. And because the opposite of that, harming others, brings about suffering for ourselves. In the very first chapter of the book, he says that hate never once dispelled hate. Only love dispels hate. This is the law, ancient and inexhaustible. And so I'm enjoying this was a great reading, just all by itself. There's really not much more to say. For the mind talks, but the body knows. He's talking about the chatter that goes on in our minds. And if we just let everything settle, like this past weekend when Lama Sultram Yeshe was talking to us about the beauty of meditation, he says it's like your mind, when your body settles, your mind settles like a jar of muddy water. If you agitate that muddy water with all of the thoughts and so forth, then it's very cloudy. But if you let it settle, if you let the body and the mind settle and the attention settle, then the mind becomes quiet and we are in a different place to make decisions about our life and to choose wisely. Because as the Buddha says here, if a person tries to be a practitioner but clings to desire and attachment, how can they follow the way? The true seeker subdues all waywardness, meaning harm for others, has submitted their nature to quietness. This is really good. So anyway, thanks for listening to the discussion. So I like the ending. Oh, seeker, rely on nothing until you want nothing. And I don't think the Buddha is asking us to become inert like a stone. I think the Buddha is asking us to be still and to be present and to see what new beginning might arise for us if we are quiet and stable. So I think I'm going to stop talking now. And then I'm going to lead one more 10-minute session of meditation before we end our time together today. So thinking of the joy of new beginnings and the potential for a new beginning in every moment, let's form the motivation to be of benefit to all sentient beings before we meditate. And then place our body in the posture of meditation, the legs, the seat, the back, the shoulders, hands, and arms, the chin, the gaze, and the tip of the tongue. So sitting quietly and resting our attention on the breath as it comes in and goes out. And then if thoughts arise, noting their presence, letting them go, and then returning to the breath for that fresh start. So let's sit together for another 10 minutes. Set my little timer. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being my meditation partners today. And I hope that your day goes well and that you stay well and stay safe. And I hope that you have meditation every day as part of your life. And if you're busy, don't worry. Come and see us every Wednesday at 12:15. Eric will be back next week, and he will have another lesson and a check-in with you for your meditation practice. So I'd like to recite the four measurables one more time as a way of sending us off and dedicating the goodness of our session to all sentient beings. May all beings be happy and have the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they have that great happiness which is freedom from suffering. May they dwell in great equanimity, free of attachment and aversion to those near and far. Okay, thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you again here on YouTube or in daily life. Okay, Om Mani Padme Hum. Have a good day.